everyone. We're here at Consensus Hong Kong. I'm with Midnight Foundation and the president, Fahmi Syed, and we're here to talk about privacy today. So tell me, why is privacy so important when it comes to blockchain?
Well,
Go ahead.
thank you. Thank you for having me here. Thank you for joining us in the Midnight booth. I think privacy, we've identified as the missing layer of blockchain adoption, wider adoption. If you think about the conversation we just had now, you should share some information about yourself to create trust, to create a level of a bond that makes this conversation, this interview slightly easier for both of us. But there's also other information about yourself that you didn't share. So I know you're from a part of New York, but you didn't give me your exact address, apartment, details like that, which, you know, I don't need to know. And that's where we're trying to change and review how things work in blockchains. Bitcoin proved, and other blockchains since, that blockchains are a truth layer. You can have peer-to-peer transactions 24/7 without censorship. But it came with radical transparency. And that means there are elements of your everyday life, businesses, corporations, individuals, even DeFi, we simply don't work because of that transparency. So at Midnight, we're trying to bring privacy back, where you protect your metadata, who you are, which is just as important as what you do, the data, and then allow that to be gateway you into different liquidity pools, transactions, services, by making selective disclosures.
Yeah, I think that's incredibly important and obviously a trending topic as we move into 2026 because, the first crypto companies, everyone was so interested in, everything on chain, but what if you want to keep the sensitive data private? So who are your target customers for Midnight? Who do you think is going to be using your solution in the future?
Everyone.
Everyone.
From the degens to the crypto traders to meme coins, casinos, gambling, up to the large institutions, large corporations, supply chain, medical, forensics, whatever it may be. Simple example I give you around the transparency, crypto, blockchains, the number one use case is trading.
Yes, of course.
Now, if you think about any large trade that goes on or position that goes on in Ethereum, let's use Ethereum as an example, the validator gets to choose the sequences of the transactions that go onto the network. So they may see an order out there, and they may decide, I can see what's coming. They may front run that order.
I see.
They may also decide not to put that order first. And by front running it, they might go and sell or buy ahead of it, let that order come on, and then go take the other side of it. Yeah. And that's a big problem. We've heard about big positions going on where everybody takes that same side of the position, erodes the alpha, or they trade against it.
I see.
That would not happen in traditional finance. And we need to bring in that element of protection of privacy into our behavior on these blockchains.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you have a mainnet launch coming up soon. Are you able to give us any details of when that will be?
Yeah, absolutely. So Charles, actually, who's our Hodgkinson, who's our founder and visionary behind the Midnight project, went on stage earlier today, and we worked with him to make the announcement that the mainnet, the federated mainnet, which is phase 2 of our launch responsible launch program, will be delivered by the end of March. And that's a great place for us to be because we have many partners who'll be primed and ready to go to expose and show what they can do on Midnight. And it's funny I use the word expose, we're talking about privacy, but really that's what I want. I want our technology to become invisible. Yes. Many years ago when I was in finance, one of the interview questions I asked to just assess somebody's characters, what superpower would you like? And often they go, I want to be invisible. The best thing we can do at Midnight is be invisible ourselves, but also allow our clients, our builders, our developers to build assets, strategies, services that are invisible, that they can then disclose and use Midnight superpowers to go and take better services, better products out there to the rest of the world.
I love that. And your branding is so on point for that, right? The dark branding, the Midnight. So it seems like you're really pushing that messaging. That's
right. I mean, the branding came before I joined, so I can't take credit for it. So I won't be honest about it. But Midnight was about it. This is the 4th generation blockchain. The blockchain that encourages wider adoption from individuals, from large corporations, and beyond. And the idea of Midnight is it's start of a new day, start of a new journey. So that's where Midnight came from. The 3 dots on the logo represent the freedoms of ACE.
Love
the freedom
it.
of association, commerce, and expression that we really care for, which is about freedoms and breaking down barriers.
I absolutely love that. And what about your cross-chain capabilities? As you said, everyone's going to use Midnight. So how do you bring on users that are using other chains?
Yeah, great question. So first of all, we looked at the tokenomics. We think some of the tokenomics in blockchains are broken, both from an economic perspective, but also in terms of how they encourage tribalism.
Right.
Often you attach yourself to a network and the token in that network. the very network. I can see you got an iPhone there.
I do.
Yeah. So you bought your iPhone because you live in New York in US dollars. US
did.
dollars are your fiat. They're your gas fee. They're your consumption. You consume technology. You don't really buy it. You consume it. You don't invest or buy your Apple phone in Apple shares. That's an investment.
Right.
That's a capital decision that takes a longer horizon. In crypto, the very capital asset that you want to go up in value is the very capital asset you cannibalize to pay for transactions. We think that's wrong. So what happens when it goes to the ultimate price? The network grinds to a halt. And then if you're a Solana holder, you're only going to pay for things in Ethereum.
Yeah.
That's not what you want. So Midnight, we've broken that up. We have a Night token, which is your unshielded governance token. It'll be a volatile token like every other crypto asset. You can own it, hold on to it. But that Night token emits the resource, the computational power of Midnight, Dust. So one of the ways that we encourage others to come and use Midnight is going forward, they can lease Dust or for their computational power, that privacy and solution in their own native token.
Yeah.
So they get to consume something in their own native token. There's no foreign exchange, there's no having to swap dollars for euros or sterling. So we think that encourages that. And then we're working with bridge providers who are coming small and large. And there's an announcement earlier today that Layer 0 is going to Cardano. And I can say that part of the Midnight team was in the background working on that. So you can make some assumptions about the next stage of that evolution.
Yeah, absolutely. And just about privacy in general, as more privacy tools like Midnight are going into the ecosystem, how do you think that's going to change the way that people use crypto and create more mass adoption?
It doesn't.
It
I'll be
doesn't?
honest, it doesn't. Privacy is just a feature.
I
It should be
see.
embedded into infrastructure.
Yeah.
The problem with crypto is it's too complicated for the average person. Your phone today, you pick it up, you open it with a thumbprint with your facial recognition.
Yeah.
You then go and tap into an app and things
No,
happen.
I actually want to use my private key. I want 25 passwords.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just too complicated. So what you need is privacy enhancing technologies. That's zero knowledge, that's MPCs, that's FHE, TEEs, all these complicated acronyms. You shouldn't even know about it. It should be part of something that's embedded in your application. Bring that along with abstraction. You could abstract away the difficulties of blockchain. Those two combined then lead to the tip of that triangle, which is smart compliance, smart
Right.
applications, where your privacy is embedded. Think about AI. AI is going to take over your life, pretty much.
It's already taken over my life.
Yeah.
I can't function without Claude out here in Hong Kong.
But what you don't recognize is when AI opens up on your phone, if your email's open, suddenly it's put a real name to that account. And then
Yeah.
suddenly you got your, I don't know, a bill open, an invoice open, then he knows where you live. Suddenly that information leaks out. So you've got to think about how zero knowledge proofs, this blockchain level, the truth level, can help protect your assets. And then essentially your data, who you are, and then you go forward with comfort around that. It's
Yes.
removing exploitation. We've all been exploited by technology and big firms.
Absolutely.
So it's handing that power back to you.
That's great to hear. Now I feel really scared about where my data is, but thank you. You guys are solving it in the future with privacy.
Yeah, and we've got many partners. I mean, we
Yeah.
are just one part of it. And that's where we go back to. Good technology is invisible. And we need to be invisible. Nobody should be talking about Midnight apart from builders and users of that technology. And it's a bit like the old laptop adverts. You didn't go and buy an Intel laptop. You went and bought a Dell laptop, an HP laptop, some other Lenovo laptop. But often the advert would, when you open the laptop up, you'd have the Intel jingle. It's
Right.
powered by Intel. I would love to get to a place where your Apple Watch, your healthcare app is powered by Midnight and you don't even know it.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of the future. Nobody's talking about like the internet. Everything's just on the internet, just sort of embedded.
Exactly. And that's where we want blockchain to be. Blockchains are a truth layer. That's why I was telling you why they were invented. Truth that you have the asset, truth that you are who you say you are, you can transfer that asset around without censorship. We need to bring that truth layer back and then just bed it into other technology stacks, other applications, other use cases. So that's our mission, that's our journey. We've got some great partners. Mainnet is, as I said, going live end of March, and we'll slow release, fast follow that with frequent updates, big announcements every 2 or 3 months, and more partners coming on. That's the best form of marketing, not me
Right.
talking about Midnight, but our partners showcasing what they do.
Yeah, so if people in our audience are trying to get involved or learn more about Midnight, what's the best way to do so?
Well, first of all, I think you'd go to midnight.network. That's the first place you should go because that will tell you everything about Midnight. There's some sample applications there, examples of some of our partners. Then equally, we announced the Midnight City presentation, which is a demonstration, visual demonstration how Midnight works. It's a bit like SimCity.
Right.
You can go and
Oh,
create
that's
your
so
own
fun.
avatar. It shows you can have, currencies, different environments that you can operate with, but all of that presents back at a proof into Midnight. So that's a good way to, and a fun way to demonstrate what Midnight does, can be. But come and find us. We're at various events this year. Come and
Where's
speak
your
to
next
us.
event?
I'm in New York next.
Oh, nice.
So I'll be in New York, and then after that we're in Dubai for Token, and we're also in Consensus Miami.
Absolutely. Well, you heard it. Come find him personally.
Come find me. I'm more than happy to answer questions, kind of work with you. The nice thing we have is good tech is helpful, but what
Yeah.
you need is good stories. People buy stories, they buy feelings. When they buy
Absolutely.
products, that's what they do. We have a great team that can help work with builders and partners and sort of find out what is the pain point that we can help solve, and then we can help, in terms of taking that forward. We've also launched the Build Club, which is a way for us to look at young entrepreneurs and how we can help them succeed in this space.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you so much. I'm Jane with Blockster and Dart Studio, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you, Jane.